Hi, it's Tanya McCausland from Diamond 6 Leadership. I'm here with a McCausland Monday Wellness Edition for you. So we're a little over a month into the new year, and not into just any new year, but the year 2020. And I don't know about you, but I felt a lot of pressure this year to come up with some amazing New Year's resolution, or more than one, because it was 2020. So there just seemed to be, even more reason to make a New Year's resolution, and not just make this year great, but make the next decade the best decade of your life, right? And that felt like a lot of pressure to me. According to some studies that I've seen, at this point in the new year, up to 80% of us have given up on our New Year's resolution. We're only 4 to 5 weeks in, and 80% of us have already quit. Strava, which is a technology and an app that can keep track of your exercise and your activities, did a study in 2019 that showed that by January 19th, most people had given up on their New Year's resolutions, at least from an exercise standpoint. They called January 19th Quitter's Day. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I am pretty terrible at starting. I'm good at starting new habits, but I'm pretty terrible at sticking with them. One of the phrases that I know we all hear over and over again that personally drives me a little nuts is small habits yield big results. And while that seems true, and I certainly talk about that in some of my presentations as well, that phrase just seems to always kind of grind me a little bit. But recently I heard a podcast interview with a gentleman named James Clear. He's the author of Atomic Habits. And he had a metaphor and a concept that has really stuck with me, that brings this whole idea of small habits yielding big results just a little bit closer to home, and really helped me reframe that idea a little bit more for myself. And I want to share it with you today. So James talks about the importance of improving yourself just by 1% every day. And, I'm also one of those really impatient people. I want to do it, I want to do the thing, and I want to see my results right away. I don't really have the time or the patience to always stick with things for a really long time. But this idea of changing ourselves or making improvements just 1% at a time felt like a little bit of a relief to me. I thought, oh, okay, 1% a day or 1% at a time, I can maybe do that. He has this beautiful metaphor for it that I think really brings this concept home. So James says, imagine you're in a cold room and there's a table with an ice cube on it. It's so cold that you can see your breath and the ice cube stays frozen. So let's say it's about 25 degrees in this room. The idea of improving by 1% is like trying to heat up this ice cube. You increase the temperature in the room by 1 degree at a time, by 26, 27, 28 degrees. That ice cube is still frozen. You increase to 29, 30, 31. The ice cube is still frozen. It's not till you hit that 32 or you get beyond that 32 mark that you see the ice cube begin to melt. And changing ourselves and self-improvement is really about turning up the temperature on that ice cube, or it's just very similar to that idea. And so what he's saying is that those 1 degree increments of increasing the room temperature are not wasted effort, just like the first 4, 8, or 12 weeks of a new exercise program is not wasted effort. You might not see the results right away. That ice cube is not going to melt when you're increasing by 1 degree at a time, but it's not wasted. And that's usually when we end up quitting, is before we see results, before the ice cube melts. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you have maybe already kind of faltered on your New Year's resolution, or you are thinking, I didn't make one, but I kind of would like to do something, it's not too late. You can still start. You can start at any time. But keep that in the back of your mind when you're changing something, when you're trying something new, when you're trying to accomplish a goal, be it a personal health goal or a professional goal, that in the beginning, you are only going to be turning the temperature up 1 degree at a time. And it will take some time to yield results, to see that ice cube melt. But just remember that every step you take, every day that you try, is turning the temperature up and you're by 1 degree, and you're making 1% improvement for yourself. So again, this concept comes from James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. Definitely check out his book. He has fantastic ideas, recommendations, and research all on the idea of building habits personally and professionally. I highly recommend it. So check that out and let me know, what do you think about this concept? Is this metaphor and this perspective helped you at all in maybe changing how you feel about your New Year's resolution, or just any type of habit or change you're trying to make in your life? So thank you so much for joining me. Leave a comment, share this if you found it helpful with your friends and your colleagues, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye-bye.